Hello, greetings from our herb garden up in Tabanan at the foothills of the beautiful Batu Karu mountain, or Gunung Batu Karu. And I thought today would be a nice time to talk about the upcoming full moon, which is very important for anyone who loves herbs and natural medicine. It's the full moon in Virgo, and this particular full moon is a very good time to connect with herbs, to connect with plants, natural medicine and other types of natural healing modalities. Now, in alchemy and astrology, the moon represents a planet that is also manifested in our body. So we call that the microcosm macrocosm connection, or as above so below, as is often spoken about in alchemy. That which is within us is also represented within the environment and the universe, and the cosmos. So the moon in our bodies connects with our stomach, it connects with the brain, it also connects with our digestive tract, it connects with also the reproductive process, including the reproductive organs along with Venus, in both men and women, and also the process of falling pregnant and gestation, and also postpartum, including and especially breastfeeding. So it's got a very strong connection with the breast as well. It's the queen archetype. It's the yin feminine archetype. The moon is connected with Monday. So anyone who's born on a Monday, the reason it's called Monday is because it's moon day, basically. So that's an important thing in medical astrology and alchemy that we often look at. Now, we're up here at the garden, and today we are doing a biodynamic farming course, which has been a big inspiration as well for this video. It's been a really interesting opportunity also in the biodynamic farming system, which was founded by the great Austrian scientist, mystic, and philosopher, Dr. Rudolf Steiner. We talk about creating preparations also in alignment with moon phases, planting with moon phases, applying fertilizer at certain moon phases, and also harvesting at certain moon phases. So looking at how the moon is very connected with how things grow, with life, with water. It's very connected to the element of water, as we all know. The tides rise and fall with the moon. And I often use moon as an example for anyone who doesn't believe that astrology can affect us. I simply say, look at how the moon affects the tides. And our body is 70 to 80% water. So as far as logic goes, in my opinion, the moon will have a very strong effect on that. So this particular full moon that's coming up is very important, especially if we want to focus on health. It's a great time to look if we have particular health issues, especially if they're related to those organs I just spoke about. Stomach, could be indigestion, gastritis, stomach ulcers. These are often conditions that affect people with a weakened moon planet, and we can tonify that planet with herbs as well. Brain, concentration, anxiety. Often when somebody's experiencing an imbalance in their moon, I'll often see them with an underlying anxiety, many fears, and because the moon, when we get into psychology, also connects with the subconscious and the unconscious and the dream state and the sleep state, things like insomnia, anxiety-filled dreams, and all of those things which can also then play out in our waking reality. They're also good things to look at during this particular full moon. I'd like to take this opportunity as well. We're up at the garden, and I'm just sitting next to a patch of Mugwort, or Artemisia Vulgaris, which is a fantastic moon herb. So we're going to go down there and have a quick look at it, and I'll talk about a few properties. Okay. So we're in a little patch of Mugwort here. Mugwort, also known as Artemisia vulgaris. In Indonesia we call it barucina. It is one of the most iconic herbs for the moon. I'm just going to ask permission to this little plant if I can pick some off, which I'll use a bit later. Thank you. It's important when you're picking herbs, especially around this full moon, to really connect with the herbs. They're not just commodities, you know. The herbs represent, sometimes I look at them as an extension of what's going on inside me, an extension of my own cosmology. So paying reverence and respect and giving love to the herbs is really, really important thing. Now, mugwort is a very shamanic herb, and it's a herb that can be found on almost any continent on earth. There are a few different herbs like this, for example, nettle, and I think gotukola, and and mugwort is one of them. Now, I look at mugwort as a very shamanic herb. It's very much connected, like I said before, in terms of the moon, it's connected to the digestive system, so stomach problems, excessive heat, and ulcers and things like that within the digestive tract. It's an excellent anti-parasitic herb. So this particular full moon in Virgo would be a really good opportunity to also work on parasites if you feel like you have these kinds of issues. And when I look at things, I like to look at the microcosm-macrocosm connection. So when we have a tendency to, let's say, intestinal parasites, pinworms, threadworms, even candida, fungal infections and things like that, amoebas, blastocystis, giardia, if we've had a history of that, we can also look at areas in our life where we are also subject to parasites, say in friends or at work and things like that. When we work on that theme in ourselves, we also, within our body, we also work on that theme in our outer world. So the inner world always reflects the outer world. And mugwort's a perfect example of that. Mugwort can be taken as a tea. It's quite safe, but I don't recommend it for pregnant women or women who are lactating or who want to fall pregnant because of those powerful antiparasitic properties. And for those with insomnia, with trouble sleeping, or some people feel, I've had people come to me just because they say they cannot dream, they don't dream. Dreaming is actually a really important part of our life. It's part of our consciousness. I had an epiphany where I saw my dream reality as being completely linked with my waking reality. And mugwort is a really interesting dream work herb. If you drink the tea sort of in the evening, a few hours before you go to bed, it will often bring up some quite potent dreams. If you feel like your dreams are hard to connect to and hard to remember in the morning. Also, the intention of writing dreams down, keeping a dream journal next to you is a really important thing as well. I've had some of my most important messages actually in big decisions in life, also in terms of medicine, making different homeopathic remedies, I've received through dream work. So yeah, it's you know, the Tibetan lamas and Tibetan monks consider dreaming to be an extension of our consciousness, our conscious life, even though it's called the subconscious. And they even have a practice of dream yoga because they don't want to miss out on any opportunity to meditate, and that's a third of our life asleep. So it's very, very interesting to connect with. Mugwort has also had a lot of attention recently with the various viral strains that have been going around, and it's been shown to be one of the effective remedies. I use it in an antiviral tincture, spagyric alchemical tincture that I make, which has been used by a lot of people who've been going through the COVID and post-COVID crisis. And also it's used in Indonesia for malaria. So again, malaria being a blood parasite, it's very good for clearing the blood, for clearing parasites out of the system. And yeah, one of my personal favorite herbs. I also put it in a moon blend tea that I make, a herbal infusion, to correct myself there, as one of the really important herbs. So if you have some mugwort growing, if you don't have some, I recommend planting it at home. It's very easy to grow. You can just grow it from even from that stalk there. I could put that cutting in the ground and it will probably grow very easily. And yeah, connect with the energy of mugwort. It's got a beautiful aroma. You can even dry it and use it as a smudge stick. So a lot of the shamanic traditions around the world will actually use that in place of sage to smudge and clear the energy of a space. So on this full moon coming up very soon, please do connect with the herbs if that's something that interests you. If there's health challenges you've been going through and you're not finding any solutions in the conventional medical world, then maybe it's a good time to start seeking alternative therapies, or I would like to actually not call them alternative therapies because they're not alternative for me. I'd probably call them natural holistic therapies, which is other therapies tend to be the alternative for me, not that I've used them for a long time. But yeah, connect with that. Homeopathy, herbal medicine, alchemy, Reiki, osteopathy, acupuncture, Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, all of these particular systems, anthroposophic medicine, all these systems which recognize the cosmology around us as being mirrored in our internal cosmology or our microcosm. So I'm wishing you much health, happiness, peace, balance and harmony on this full moon that's coming up very soon, and connect with nature at that time, connect with the nature within and the nature around us. And all the best. See you next time.